Warning, the following video contains 100% authenticity, facts and logic only, and is toxically masculine. So, if you're easily offended or you don't want to learn something new, then fuck off and go be a pussy somewhere else. A lot of times when you're young, you tend to focus on the wrong things. You tend to look at certain things and believe that they're the important things, you know what I mean? Now, when I was younger, like ever since, I started high school, I've been self-improving, I've been doing a lot of things to grow, always wanting to improve myself, so I was never foolish enough to do a lot of these stupid things. But I would still notice, that 99% of my peers in high school would do these things, stupid things like trying to be popular, trying to get the girls, trying to be basically the guy that everybody looked up to and said, that's the guy, that's the guy, he's cool, you know what I mean? Just really stupid things, which I really don't even have to go into detail as to why that's stupid, but briefly talking about it, it brings you no value in return. Guys, 99% of people you go to high school with and you're going to go to college with, that is, if you continue your education, they're going to be worthless people, they're going to be nobodies. They're going to go, they're going to go to school, sure, they might study this and that, but they're going to end up being nobodies. They're going to be people working shitty jobs or not their ideal job. They're going to be people who have shitty families, shitty relationships, people who look shitty physically, who are getting all fat, getting out of shape, lowering testosterone, right? Dick stops working. A bunch of things, right, that indicate how much of a shitty life you truly lead. And that's the same with 99% of people, not just who you go to school with, but who you meet in your entire life. They're going to be worthless people. Now, when I say worthless, I don't mean fully, to a certain degree. If they work in a McDonald's, let's say, well, they're essential, we need people like that. But I mean they're worthless in the sense of they have nothing to provide you, you know what I mean? They're not people like you, not people like me who are ambitious, who want to grow, who want to learn new things, What the fuck can you learn from them? Nothing really, They're not going to be people who you're going to go and say, I really learned a lot, or this person really pushed me. Like, no, they're nobody. So, here's the thing, right? A lot of times, I want to send this message to all the young people that might be doing this, you're focused on all these things, which are wrong, because I said this in a previous video. I'm going to put the card right up here about something called the male timeline, right? It's a concept that I introduced to you guys. We as men, typically the standard timeline is, between your teenage years up until your early 20s or your party years, right? And then up until around when you're getting to 30, right? You can still party around, but you're already, kind of starting to work. You already kind of know what you want to do. And then from like, let's say 30 all the way until 60 or 75, you're just working until you retire, right? Now, I've said this before, so obviously that's a shitty, shitty life, You should never aim for that, you can always aim for something much more. And obviously, the way to achieve that, the way to do that is to put in the work early. So, as I said, listen to what I just said, right? For 99% of people, their teenage years up until their early 20s, right? Like, let's say 24, 25, when they actually start to get their life together, they're their party years, okay? But what's the problem with that? With having their party years there, it's that later on, they have to focus on all these other things, And because they're stupid, right, they go and they work somewhere for like 30, 40 years, they become a slave, and they just waste their life. But guys, what if, and I'm providing an alternative for you, instead of being that fool that just goes and parties around and wastes his life, from his teenage years up until he's like, let's say 25, you make those your work years, right? Like I said in that video, and I'm going to say it again, guys, when you're young, you have all the potential in the world. You have absolutely everything. You're unstoppable, You're pumped up full of testosterone, as the cougars say, you're young, dumb, and full of cum, you know what I mean? You got a lot of potential, guys, when you're young. You can take the world by storm, obviously, if you work hard, and if every day you're doing it, you know what I mean? So it's really a lifestyle, of doing all these little things, but what I want to get to in this video simply is that when you're young, you should aim to live a more so simple life. You know what I mean? Not really focused on big things. Now, the reason being, like I said, supposing you actually choose to start doing the work when you're young, the first couple years are going to be quite shitty. In some way, they're not going to be great. Like, me, it's going to take, I don't know, might take longer. For some people, it takes them 3 years. Some people it takes them 6 years. But I don't know, supposing for me, let's say it's going to take me 4 years of fighting amateurly, right? Between 18 to 22, let's say I turn pro and 22 or 23, right? That's like 5 years, 5 years of really not getting paid. I mean, I might get paid depending on how many people buy my tickets for the amateur fights. If I get like a little local sponsor on my walkout t-shirt or on my shorts, you know what I mean? So to a certain degree, there's things you can do, right? But it's quite a shitty stage in your fight career, your beginnings. Nobody really knows who you are. You're not getting paid. Don't get me wrong, each stage has a lot of value and each stage is amazing in its own way, but it's not a great stage to go through, guys. So when you're young, that's kind of what your life is essentially. I mean, as the man's worth, I said this before, all a woman really needs is to be beautiful, and she can go and be on a multi-millionaire's yacht in Miami. But that Miami guy, he needs so many things, to just even be able to have that boat, be successful, work hard, good looks. I mean, just endless amount of things, guys, and endless amount of things, you know. So when you're young, right, you're gonna struggle, because it's not as simple, it's not an overnight thing of achieving, that amount of money, of achieving those looks, that's why when you're young, as a man, your worth is extremely low, you don't really have those things. You might be looking good physically, you might be already starting to work on yourself, but you really have nothing, so your worth is quite low. That's why, these are kind of, let's say, like your beginning years of a young man are your shitty years, that's why you should live a more simple life. Now, when I say simple in the lifestyle, I really just only mean one thing. Focus on your purpose, guys. Just focus on your purpose. That's it, Make friends, but more than friends, make people who are, let's say, and let's say empowering on you. You know what I mean? Like people who teach you things, people who know more than you, Don't make friends like 99% of people, to go and tell them about their problems, to go and talk about gossip, to go and talk about garbage. Make friends, right, who you care about and who you really see as friends, but friends who have value, friends who are on similar journeys of yours, you know what I mean? So you can still make friends, you can still hang out with them. Just make sure that's the main focus, guys. But always chase excellence, you know what I mean? Like that's your main goal when I say living a simple life, And another thing is was your clothing. I mean, guys, I'm this Reebok hoodie, I bought it at Marshalls. It cost me $15. My pants, I bought them at Marshalls as well. They cost me less than $25. I mean, I got a lot of jackets there, as you can see in the background, but they all cost me less than $80. Most of them I bought them at Marshalls. Most of them I bought them on big sales like Black Friday and stuff. So I have a couple of them, sure, but like I'm very chill. You know what I mean? I mean, my favorite pairs of shoes are a pair of like they cost me like $29.99 DC skate shoes. I've had them for like 4 years now. They've been in the mud, they've been in the rain, they've been in the snow, they've been through all kinds of conditions, but they're still my favorite shoes, and they're the most affordable shoes that I paid for. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. Living a simple life. When you're young, don't really, like, let's say you're 18 years old, don't aim, to get that massive house. Don't aim to be dressing like a millionaire. Don't aim to be driving that car, because it's not what's important right now. And I'm not saying this to be mediocre. Absolutely not. You must be on your path. You must work hard, and you must aim to achieve those things eventually. But what I am saying is that right now is not the time. Right now, these early years of your life as a man, it's the time for you to live a simple lifestyle, right? Simple lifestyle, live in a simple one-bedroom apartment, If you're gonna date, you can do cam, right? If you can do porn with a girl or something, take it simply, right? But remember, focus on your purpose. You know what I mean? Just focus on your purpose and live a simple life. All right, guys, that's really it for this video. Don't focus on all these stupid things. If you're still in high school, I'm going to tell you two more things. Number one, don't do all these stupid things about focusing on popularity, focusing on getting the girls. 99% of those girls are going to be hoes who they're just going to be not worth it, not worth your time in any way. And 90%, 99% of those guys and all those people in general, they're going to be a bunch of nobodies. Just wait, If you really are on your purpose, in 10 years from now, when you're a big celebrity, when you're a big somebody in this world, look them up on social media. You're going to see that they're a bunch of nobodies, you know what I mean? So don't focus on all those things, and also look at other people's behavior. You know what I mean? Look at it to learn, because whether it's something good or bad, you can always learn something from somebody. So don't focus on these things, but actually look at their behavior and look at the results that it gets them. Okay, guys? Live a simple life when you're young. Don't focus on all these things. They're not worth it. All this popularity, that garbage will never be worth it. But the cool things, the things like having the nice car, the nice clothes, the nice house, they are worth it. But that comes later in life. Now you're a young guy. You just need to work hard, be smart, get through this kind of shitty phase of your young life. Of your early work years, and eventually, guys, you're gonna be able to enjoy all these things. Eventually, guys, once I'm fighting heavy in the UFC, right? I'm a top ranked guy. I might already be the champion. Once I retire, you can bet your ass, that I'm gonna be wearing nice suits. That I'm gonna be driving nice cars. That I'm gonna be living in a nice mansion filled with a lot of these girls that are making me money on the webcam. You can bet that I'm gonna be doing all these things, right? But now is not the time, guys. Now is the time to live a simple life and to work hard. Okay, guys? I hope you understood what I'm talking to you about, and I hope that it actually sinks in here, okay? Don't just listen, take action. I'll see you next time.